You have to pause for a moment and realize that only 10 or 15 years ago, there weren't nearly as many fairs out there. So the whole landscape for how business is done in the contemporary part of our industry in particular is rapidly changing. And I think the fairs that will go on to thrive in the future are the fairs that are most in tune with how those changes are developing. So I've asked of our team and of all the partners that we work with to really think fundamentally about what it means to be producing an art fair now as opposed to 5 or 10 years ago, and also what it means to be producing an art fair in New York City, which is very different from an art fair, whether it's in Hong Kong or Sao Paulo or Miami or Basel, etc. So dealing and trying to figure out responses and intelligent solutions to those problems, so to speak, is definitely the most fun part for sure.
What distinguishes the Armory Show is its location, which is both a benefit and a liability. As fairs become more global and more ubiquitous, they become also more anonymous. And one thing we were looking at is how to highlight that this is in New York, that it's one of the earliest art fairs. And in our desire to bring more seating to the show, we were up against budget numbers, and we realized that we were going to have to be more creative than just renting or buying or borrowing. And so we started collecting seats off of the streets of New York, broken down chairs out of the trash and repairing them. And then and these are some here in the conference room, but we took them to a New York City cab company and had them painted all taxi cab yellow.
At this point, it's this insane kind of synergy of caterers, gallerists, florists, artists, all of these decisions. I think for us, it's both the challenge of taking a space, it's a big warehouse, that needs to be turned into a very high-end venue for art. So how do you do that? And I think that the building offers these interesting opportunities. There are skylights, there's this kind of industrial feel, and we have to work within that with a limited means. That said, once it goes into construction, it's an intense 5 days of being on the site and seeing it all happen in just no time at all. And it's a lot of fun.
I can't tell you exactly how many years we've done it, but well over a decade. We do the fair simply because it's hugely successful for us.
So a week out from the fair is really just last second putting everything in place. The galleries have ordered and constructed their booths and submitted all of that. In January, they've received their plans back from the contractors and the architects. So for Sean's team, and I'm speaking a little bit out of turn, but I'm assuming that you're making sure that everything is queued up, getting there on time, that all the shipping and insurance is all taken care of.
We've got, in-house people who are working on every sort of detail of it, from getting the artwork there on time to making sure that we like the labels for the walls at the last minute. So that's all going on. So we want to make sure that there's a lot of punch to the booth, and there's things on both the exterior and the interior of the booth that are going to pull people in, so that when people have paid for their ticket and they want to get through that turnstile and get into the fair, we want them to walk straight onto our booth. We want them to come straight to us because they see something that's really dynamic or interesting or intriguing to them. We don't want to be at the back, we want to be at the front. The only place you want to sit on the back is on a bus, right, with your girlfriend. You don't want to sit on the back of the art fair. So, yeah, of course, it's very competitive. And, it's a competitive business.
Any student, really should take it upon themselves to talk to the dealers, to get familiar with the process. In many ways, that's how this whole journey began for myself, just out of my own research at the time. And it's really incredible what fairs now provide to students and the wider public.